NFC East, with Mike McCarthy there, setting aside everything that went wrong in Green Bay and the underachievement while he was there, he had a year out of football. He was exiled. I feel like he's viewing it differently. I feel like he's appreciating it more.
I'm with you.
How much does he change that ceiling on a team that on paper is talented, but when it's time to play the games over the past several years, it's been mixed results?
This is really probably the only team I'm picking to go to the playoffs that had a dramatic change in the offseason. You know, and again, I think I did it because, like what you just said, the team's talented. And I think they got more talented in the offseason with a guy like CeeDee Lamb and even in the draft. And, you know, the roster, you just can't find too many weak spots on their football team. You can question maybe a spot or two in the secondary, but I just look at it that. And then, you know, yeah, Mike McCarthy, it's new there, so there's new things going on, certainly. But he's a Super Bowl winning coach, been to the playoffs a lot, you know, 3 NFC championship games. So he is kind of a proven commodity there. And I think he is the kind of guy that's going to be worth a win or two this year. You know, his teams are always tough. They're always detailed. I always complained about his lack of, you know, creativity on the offensive side of the ball. He seems that he's self-scouted thyself to get better at that, along with keeping Kellen Moore. So I'm picking the Cowboys to go to the playoffs. They're one of the few teams that had a change that I'm doing it with. But I just think between that roster, the offensive especially, and enough difference makers on defense that I just couldn't leave them off.
You know, we had Cam Newton talk recently about a match made in heaven between him and the Patriots. I mean, if we're talking about lack of creativity on offense, Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys are a great match too. At least the bar's low in Dallas when it comes to offensive creativity. So if he's going to have this epiphany, if he's going to change his ways, this is the perfect place for him to do it. And you think about all the jobs that were available last year. Which job? The Browns have talent, right? But the Cowboys, they got Zeke.
Yeah.
They got Dak.
Right.
They got Amari Cooper.
Right.
They got Michael Gallup. They had CeeDee Lamb fall into their laps in round 1. The defense is a work in progress, and who knows what Mike Nolan's going to do with that. But, we had Peter King on the show the other day suggesting Aldon Smith is a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. I think a performance somewhat lower than that level will still be a nice bump for the Cowboys defense. So, look, I believe in the Cowboys this year. I think this is one of those years where I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to resist it. I'm going to accept the fact that the team with the star on the helmet is going to live. Because, look, I kind of, what's good for football? It's kind of good when the Cowboys are middle of the pack-ish. And you've got that exasperation that comes from, are they going to get it turned around? Are they fine? Because of their profile, this idea that they're constantly stuck in mud makes them more interesting. They're less interesting when they're good because people are always going to be interested in them no matter what, if that makes any sense at all. But I think this is one of those years where they're going to fulfill their promise. They're going to be good, and I think the sky's the limit for the Cowboys this season.
I agree.
Really do.
I'm with you. Elite units are always an important part of a football team, whether it's an elite position group or elite units, and Dallas has an elite unit. Their offensive side of the football, I mean, you could put it up against anybody. I mean, really. You could go toe-to-toe with Kansas City in a lot of ways. Now, I know I'd probably pick Kansas City, but still, when you talk about Gallup, all the names you mentioned, and then arguably one of the best offensive lines in football, and that running back, and I think Zeke's a little pissed off with the way he was perceived after last year and all that. And then I think Mike McCarthy gives them an edge, and now their defense with Mike Nolan is not going to line up in the same two defensive formations play after play. I do. I like Dallas, and I think they're going to win the NFC East.
I interviewed Zeke the other day, and I tried to push his buttons to get him going because he tweeted something in July that he is pissed off. 1,800 rushing yards, or yards from scrimmage, 1,357 rushing yards, and people say he had a down year. Well, he did based on his standard.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.